the link between thinking and thanking. In other words, how gratitude can impact the way we think about life and the world. So how these two things are connected. So the link between thinking and thinking, in other words, how our thinking, our brain is affected by the gratitude. So this will be the topic today. Actually, when you think about the word thinking, the word thinking and thanking actually comes from the same root. So same root, but eventually it kind of evolved into these two different words. But the Indo-European term, the root for these two terms is thong. Initially, thong means actually to feel or to think kindly of someone, to think kindly of someone, and that gradually changed to mean the expression of gratitude. When you think kindly of someone, and that is the original meaning, but then it changed into mean to like really express gratitude. So there's very interesting example. So actually, original meaning thank you mean actually I'll think about you or remember you kindly. That is the original meaning. When you say I thank you, I'll think of you, kindly, or I will remember you kindly, and that is the meaning of thank you. But now it is like expression of gratitude. So remembering the support we receive from others is the important part of the term thankfulness or gratitude. In fact, the Pali term for gratitude, Bhante, what is the Pali term for gratitude, Bhante?
Katanyo, right?
Katanyo. Yeah, katanyo. So if you get literal meaning, kata means what is done, and anyo means knowing, right? Yeah, knowing or remembering, keeping in mind what is done to us, and of course good things. Yeah. So that's what we mean by the term katanyo. So there is an interesting, the connection between thinking and thanking, because in order for us to thank, we have to think. We will only thank someone if we take the time to think. If we pause to think, that it will allow you to thank. The problem is we don't take the time to think most of the time, right? And we don't really take time to think, take time to reflect. So definitely thanking requires thinking. And it is through thinking, if you really reflecting and genuinely reflecting, we can actually be thankful. Without much thinking, we will not be thankful because we take everything for granted. And so so we call, the thoughtfulness is, thoughtfulness precedes thankfulness. So they are all connected. So we need to think in order to thank, but at the same time, this connection is circular. And if you keep thanking, or if you keep recognizing the help and support you receive, as a result of that continuous thankfulness will change the way we think. So initially we need to think to thank, and then when you keep thanking, it changes the way we think. That is how in modern neuroscience, how there are enough studies about how actually we can rewire our brain, with gratitude and thankfulness. So it's an interesting circular connection. So that's what we are going to discuss today. But before that, I would like to pose a question. What do you think about when you think about this gratitude? Um, is it an emotion, or is it a mood, or is it an attitude, or is it a trait? What do you think?
I think it's an attitude.
Attitude, okay. So what will be the difference between the emotion and attitude? Any suggestion?
Emotions are fleeting,
Mhm.
attitude is permanent.
Okay. Any other suggestion?
State of being.
Okay. State of being, yeah, similar to attitude. I asked the question, is it an emotion? Is it a mood? Is it an attitude? Is it a trait?
I think it's a reflex action. You give me something, I thank you without thinking.
Okay. Okay. That is the expression. Yeah. So do you think it's a reflex means automatically happening?
Yes.
If it's automatically happening, why you have to remind your children? What did you say? Like, whenever, if it's a
No, I'm
reflex.
talking about the immediate action that you give me something, I thank you without thinking.
Oh.
About telling my children, that's something I think about later.
Yeah, okay. No, I think, yeah. So definitely we have this habit of thanking. If someone make a favor, automatically we say thank you, you without thinking about it, because we have trained ourselves to say so. Doesn't mean that we will instinctively say it. That is why, as parents, you have to teach a lot. How many times you have to teach your children to say it? And then after a while, of course, we will, develop it. So yeah, that is the expression of gratitude. Like saying thank you is the expression of gratitude. But we can have gratitude even without saying it too.
Or you can say thank you without actually feeling grateful. It can be an automatic response.
Yes. Now maybe simply the word, but don't
Yeah.
really feel it.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Can be an intention.
Okay, intention. The thank. So if we think about the emotions, moods, attitudes, traits, it can be state of being. Here maybe you can say character, of a character trait. I think gratitude maybe can be all of this. There will be a moment that we feel deeply grateful. It could be an emotional feeling, like when you really recognize, when you really see, someone really, did a sacrifice and took the time and, give you, something, maybe give you a ride, whatever, and we feel emotional, right? So we can experience gratitude as an emotional or affective quality that can feel something in the heart. So we can experience it as an emotion. And maybe if you think, reflect of that help you receive, maybe you can have like a mood of attitude, like whole morning you are like, attitude, and you keep, being nice to others too, because early in the morning you receive a big help and you feel so strongly and emotionally, grateful for that, and that kind of set the tone of the day, and maybe whole morning hours you'll be in a mood of gratitude, right? But I'm saying that yes, actually, eventually the gratitude can be an attitude or maybe a trait as a part of the training. So we can experience as instantaneous, momentary thing, and but in order to feel that, we need to think, we need to recognize, we need to notice the help, the support we are receiving, and then of course we need to appreciate it. So it can start as a fleeting emotion, emotional state, but if you experience it more and more and more and more, what's going to happen? It's going to like become the more enduring state of our mind. So that is exactly, our training. So that is how, we can actually train our mind. The more we think and reflect on the help and support and blessings in our life, and we will feel emotionally nice feeling of appreciation. And the more often we do it, it becomes more like an enduring state. So the goal has to be make the gratitude a trait. more like way of being. That should be the way. But the problem is actually our natural inclinations, what we have learned in our through our ancestors evolution, does not necessarily support us to be in that state. In order to stay in the state of gratitude, we almost have to work against our brain. Do you know why? Can someone say yes?
Are we like more evolutionarily inclined to always continue seeking out new resources or new experiences rather than appreciating what we have already?
That's a good point. Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. We have like wanting more and more, and yeah, evolution. That's how we move forward. Thank you. But there's another one that we another inheritance we have got from the evolution. Anyone else? Why we have to work against our brain in order to feel grateful? One is our lack of appreciation, wanting more than what we have. That's one. Any other thing you remember?
The brain support the I am.
Center. Yeah.
Yes, it's
Yeah.
selfish.
Selfish, yeah. So the brain kind of push you to be selfish, self-centered.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, thank you. So we already got 2 points. Yeah. But other point is actually our brain has evolved to remember bad things more than the good things. Right? We call it negativity bias. Negativity bias. Of course, as a living organism, as a being, we evaluate our environment, we evaluate whatever object we notice, and then if it is pleasant, if it is safe, we will approach it, and if it is a threat, not safe, and we will avoid it. Right? So in a day, we can encounter so many things, and some are pleasant and we want to have it, and some are unpleasant, we don't want to have it. Usually in neuroscience, we say that we get carrots and sticks. We go for carrots and we avoid sticks. But the problem is that it will be more useful for survival purpose to remember more sticks, more threats, more dangers than the opportunities and good things. Because ancient time, when animals and any living being, also as human beings, when we live in that kind of environment, a lot of threats. We live in an environment with all different opportunities, but at the same time, a lot of threats of being attacked, being killed. And of course, as human beings, we have evolved so much, and now we have become a threat to everyone else. But initially, we were living in an environment full of threats and dangers. So therefore, and the reason that as human beings we evolved was that actually we were able to remember the signs of threats and more than the signs of opportunities and signs of good experiences. So that allowed us to survive and move forward. So although it was very useful for our survival, but now we have come a long way. We are living in an environment that we have less threats, but still we have some threats, but not as previously. But still we carry that residual from our evolution. So therefore, it is easy for us to remember whatever negative things happen in a day than the positive things. Right? And positive things we almost kind of ignore. If one negative thing happens, we will always remember. Now, usually, let's say, in a day, how many people, wish good morning to you? Maybe like, many people, right? Let's say one person just ignored you. And towards the latter part of the day, what which you will remember, right? 10 people greeted you and one person ignored you. What you will remember? Of course, the second one, right? So there's a contrast, but at the same time, our brain, our mind is sticking to the negative memories than the positive one. So that's why there's a very interesting place in the book called Buddha's Brain. I read that book called Buddha's Brain, like a neuroscience behind meditation. The term Buddha's Brain. So it says that our brain is Teflon for good memories, good things. Our brain is Teflon for good things happen in our life. And our brain is Velcro for negative things happening in our life. So the good things it slips away and don't really much worry about think about it. But any negative thing happens like a Velcro, we hold into it. So therefore, when you think about your life, when you think about a person, and definitely we will remember a lot of bad things, automatically we kind of bad things stick to our memory. And most of the time we will remember all the negative experience we had, the hurts we got from that person, about how many times that person has lied to you, whatever. So we just remember that and we kind of ignore or, slip away all the good things that happen in between us. Therefore, in order to develop, gratitude, we really have to purposely think. That's why thinking is related to thanking. And we really have to purposely think. So I think anytime, when you remember a person, if you get an attitude, like if you get a feeling that, that person is not that nice or good, remember that this bias that we are naturally carrying. And then purposely, and remembering that bias.
We've got a spider.
It's okay.
Oh, it's a teeny tiny
Yeah.
spider. Sorry.
Yes, put that on your head, though.
Thank you.
Oh,
Thank you. So, you see how sharp is our eyes to detect the threat? Yes, it's a threat, Yeah, if any threat, you will detect it. We are very vigilant about that. That is how you were able to survive without getting, stung by spiders or anyone else. Yeah. But that is good, for our survival. But I think the problem is, it may not help us to thrive. It helps us to survive, but it may not help us to thrive, progress. So that's why we need to purposely take the time. So whenever we purposely take time to think and express gratitude, feeling like even counting our blessings, and that activity actually counterbalance the negativity bias of our brain. So if you purposely, think that even if you remember a person, if you really feel someone not really friendly or good about that person, take a moment, take a breath, and then purposely try to remember any good things that happen between you. There could have been many good things happen between you, but you just kind of hidden them. So if you purposely remember that, at least it will give you a balanced picture. Of course, you're not going to deny or forget, any hurts or any bad things that other person has done to you, but you get a kind of, at least a balanced picture when you purposely, remember things. So, but I think overall in our life, we tend to, remember failures and mistakes and, all kind of hurts we receive rather than, good moments, we receive. Therefore, overall, about our own life, we really have to purposely recall ourselves and remind ourselves, all the good things happen in the day. Even today, when you go back home at the end of the day, if someone asks, okay, what happened in the Buddhist center? How do you remember things? If someone asks, okay, tell me what happened in the Buddhist center.
It's a spider attack.
Exactly. Yes, we remember that. Yes. So if the same family members, you came and experienced the same thing, but when you go home and you remember, and what happened on the day, two people have two different, reports, what happened, right? It's where we pay our attention to. And then our, tendency, our brain to like remember negative things more than the positive things. So sometimes we have to balance that. We have to purposely balance that. So when you purposely do it, it eventually actually change how our brain is wired right now. Of course, now we know with, thanks to, modern development in neuroscience that our brain continue to grow. It has not stopped growing. It is, we call neuroplasticity, right? So therefore, we can continue to change that. So I think one benefit, this gratitude is doing to us is helping us to change, to counterbalance this negativity, bias. By doing that, actually, we start to appreciate even the simple moments that are really pleasant, that somehow doesn't, stick into our mind. So we begin to kind of appreciate life. We begin to see that life is better than I usually feel it. So you develop deep appreciation and, of course, gratitude, appreciation, and joy about the life. So that is one important, thing. And then what happens as a result, if we continue to practice that, if we exercise that, neural network in our brain purposely, that is why writing a gratitude journal will be really wonderful. Before you go to sleep, just, express your gratitude to, whatever people and things happen in your life, that kind of exercise gradually, change the way our mind works. And then we will develop the ability to stick, good memories in our brain more than the negative ones. Yeah. So that's the other important benefit. And then there's the other one called, gratitude can also boost our reward system in our brain. Reward system, that any activity, we will tend to do more and more because of the rewards we receive, And if you, go to, Rain restaurant again and again, that means that restaurant has given you a dopamine boost. you have felt, feel good, and then you tend to do that thing again and again. And then if you come to meditation again and again, that means you have experienced something pleasant and good, and you tend to come back. So what's going to happen when we purposely feel grateful, it kinds of change, and it actually helps us to release definitely dopamine and good hormones to the system, and help us to feel good about it, and we will tend to attract more positive things in our life, and then also we will change. We will continue to do more things that is helping others. We may do things that will connect to others rather than isolating, separating, and being away. We will be more pro-social, and we will, because we remember whenever we be grateful, it gives us joy and happiness, and then we tend to meet the people again and again. Right? So it's kind of create this interesting loop that we will be more pro-social, be more happy with people. So therefore, it's in that way, it's really, really helpful. And then, of course, we know that dopamine and serotonin are the good, the neurotransmitters that give us feeling of peace, feeling of joy, feeling of good. And then, and more grateful we are, more feeling good you will experience, and more dopamine and serotonin will release. So you don't need any other substances to experience that, because gratitude can make you, give you that kind of good feeling. It's under your control. Like, I think people and human beings, as we like to feel good. That is why and that is the reason that people get addicted. Also, whenever they get like a dopamine boost by using certain, any substance, and that's really extremely joyful and pleasurable, and then they will go back to it again and again, and then you become dependent on that substance, and then you lose the other opportunities to experience that same feeling good from other ways. But if we can, rather than using a drug or any substance, you can, continue to feel, grateful. And the more purposely you do it, and there'll be a point that you feel grateful quite often, and you'll be in the happy mood most of the time because the brain produced those neurotransmitters, those good hormones to feel us good. So actually feeling grateful, we are not, of course, we are thinking about others and, support we receive from others. Object is the others, but actually the benefit is the oneself. So therefore, it's really, really important if we can do that. So at the same time, while, brain can, bring these good hormones, at the same time, it can also help us to actually, the gratitude is now, is said to, calm down our amygdala. Can someone help us to explain what the amygdala is doing to us? Yes?
It's like the fight or flight portion of your brain.
Yes. Yes. So amygdala is our the one who looking for threats. It's want to protect us. Definitely it has protected us for many years. So but the problem is that when it's too reactive, too sensitive, we will feel threat all over the place. We don't feel like going anywhere. We don't feel like approaching anything when it is super active. So sometimes it's going to protect us, but doing more than we need. So that the gratitude can actually calm down the nervous system and calm down particularly the amygdala, and then help us to stay calm and connected and feel confident to approach and be connected to others. And at the same time, as a result, it will also lower the stress hormone, cortisol. The more active the amygdala, the more stress hormone is released, and then our body is ready to fight off, of flight. And so, but the more we are in that mood, that state, and our body is not growing, so we do return to our normal, states of being. So gratitude can help us a lot. So I think so we can actually think about how when we continue to feel grateful, purposely think about grateful things that we can be grateful for. It actually changes the way our brain works. But initially it will be a little challenging. We may have work a little bit against the brain, but eventually it becomes a part of that. Yeah. So that is the benefit we are going to get. So remember that our thinking and thanking is very closely connected. First, we have to think in order to be thankful, and the more we thank, it changes the way we think. And then the world we see will be completely different. The more we develop gratitude. And right now we are seeing the world with a little bit of a negativity bias, and that's common to all human beings.
One time, a master was walking with his student.
Mm-hmm.
They found dead horse on the road,
Dead horse.
and the student said, "Oh, smell bad, a lot of worm." The master said, "Look at his teeth, how beautiful they are, how white they are."
Yes, seeing the good part of it. Yes, exactly. So that's how we will see the world, right? So how the same thing, how we can see two
Look at
different
good
worlds. Yeah, two different worlds. So let's remember that. I think that's why really important, and we continue to express gratitude. So I would like to have a few minutes of questions and discussion on this. How we can actually practically do it on daily basis. What we can do to feel more grateful and thankful.
Well, they change the way you look at something, and that thing will change.
Oh,
So that's a pretty practical saying to help cultivate that kind of
Gratitude, right?
perspective.
Mm. That will also change. What you're looking at will also change. Yeah. Any other thoughts or suggestions?
I was wondering, there are
some people who are very challenging.
Yes. Mhm.
And how do I express gratitude in relating to those people?
Okay. Yes.
I can think of some ways, but I would like to hear some ideas.
Yeah, yeah. Yes. Of course, there are challenging and difficult people to deal with, and of course, and that is the human nature, right? So, but I think that here the point is that we are more interested in taking care of ourselves than changing them, right? Yeah. Of course, maybe depending if those are family members and really good friends, maybe we can make an effort to like change it. Otherwise, our goal is to take care of ourselves. We don't want that negativity of them to influence us and then drain our energy. So that is why, we need to find some ways that we can be grateful. Um, and there's an interesting story, interesting guidance given by the Buddha. They say that some people are really bad in their speech, bad the way they speak. Maybe they are maybe good in the way they do things. So rather than focusing on their speech, maybe just ignore that and focus on how they do things. Maybe some people will be very punctual, very meticulous, but when they come to talk, they are very bad, right? So maybe instead of focusing on the talk, focus on their deed. Sometimes people are very, uh, clumsy, do not do things very well, unorganized. But when they come to talk, they talk really nicely. So in that case, ignore the deeds and focus on the speech. The goal is not to, not to appreciate or change the person, but change our own mind. Yeah. I think maybe this may be a good opportunity for me to introduce you a very important meditation, actually more like a therapy practice in Japan called Naikan therapy. Naikan therapy. It's like a camera, right? Yeah. Actually, yes. Naikan means to look in. Look in. Kan means to look, and Naikan means look in. And it's this interesting, meditation, more like actually not really a typical, very difficult meditation, but this was a particular technique developed by a businessman actually in 1960s. But based on a very rigorous Buddhist practice, he developed this simplified practice, which has been very useful for, because he first introduced this practice to prisoners, inmates. It was very successful for them to manage their anger. And then also remove their, get rid of the addiction problem. Naikan, and this is actually, this is a very simple exercise, reflection. You focus on people who are related to your life, your parents, your siblings, your friends, but you just focus on one person at a time. And then you also focus on some time period. Usually you start with your childhood, let's say from age, 5 to age 10. And then you ask 3 questions. What this person has given to me during this period. You want to remember, recall to your mind specific things. What this person has given to me. What I have given to this person in return. And what troubles and difficulties I caused this person. These are 3 questions you ask. So when we ask this question with regard to anyone, what I have received, what I have given back, and what troubles and difficulties I caused that person. May not be intentionally, but even just when we live together, you just cause difficulties and challenge, difficulties to others. So when you ask that question, so they contemplate these three questions, and then for in a secluded place you keep recalling this memory. And so they do it with regard to family members, with regard to friends and everyone. And you can do it now. Think about someone. What that person has given you, what you have received, and what you have given back. and what troubles and difficulties you cause. And they have found that actually when you do this reflection following these three questions, and you start to like recover memories that kind of hidden and buried, and develop whole different relationship, discover whole different relationship with that person. Even the person that you feel very angry, very upset, very disappointed, you get a whole different appreciation. Remember, just focus on these 4 questions, like what that person has given to me, and what I have given to that person, and what trouble and difficulties I caused that person. Only 3. If I add 4th one, which one will be the 4th one? Okay. What I have received, what that person has given to me, what I have given to that person, right? And what troubles and difficulties I caused him. And 4th one will be?
What trouble they cause us.
Yes. In that practice, you purposely do not ask that question because we are expert in that. Yeah, because of our negative bias, we already remember the troubles and difficulties that person has caused us. We are very good in that. In that time, we purposely don't ask that question. We only ask the other questions. But troubles and difficulties I caused. That way you kind of balance the picture. Yes. And after I learned these techniques, actually, for some time I also teach, meditation in State Correctional Institute, in Pittsburgh before it moved to, somewhere else, in the north side. And I encourage them to do this practice. Because of course, for inmates, and many people, when you ask to meditate, they will say, "Oh, I'm sorry, Bhante, I don't have time." But for inmates, they have time, right? So I think they continue to, they start to really enjoy it and benefit it, and start writing letters to people, like, because when you really do it, you see a whole different picture that has been given to you for many years. And in that practice, it's also even asked us to do the same, the 3 questions even to like non-living things. Then you really get a real picture. Think about the trees next to your house. What that tree has given to you? Shade, oxygen, okay. They list so many things. What you have given to that tree? Not that much.
Carbon dioxide.
Okay.
But
Yeah. And then what troubles and difficulties you may have caused that tree? You may have cut its branches, you may like find a way to make it suitable there, right? So, and what we are really finding is actually, when you really deeply think about that, we continue to receive many things from others, but we haven't really given back enough. You always feel like the sheet is not that balanced. And you deeply feel grateful that even though I don't care, I don't pay attention, the world is giving things to me again and again. And think about your favorite sofa at home. Think about your sofa. What that sofa has given to you. And what you have given to that sofa back. What troubles and difficulties you may have caused that sofa. Just think about that. You can think about your car. And then we realize that actually, the sheet is not balanced. I'm at the receiving end most of the time. And in fact, I have also kind of, not intentionally, but, caused troubles and difficulties. So you deeply feel grateful as a result. You stop complaining after that. That's what the Naikan practice is doing to us. So you can do Naikan on that person.
I'll practice.
Yes. Any final thoughts or sharing? Okay, and that we will do a short gratitude meditation then. Maybe we'll start with a standing posture because we have been sitting for some time. For a moment, we will stand. Okay, let us spread our feet a little bit apart so we can feel the weight of your both, the weight of the body in our both feet. Relax your hands. Balance your posture. Make sure that you're standing firmly on your feet and the whole upper body parts are taking one over the other. And keep your chin somewhat parallel to the floor. Balance your scalp on the top of the spine. And feel your heels, how the muscles are pressed in your heels. And take a moment to feel the sensation in the front part of the feet. And take a nice, deep, long in-breath, filling your lungs with fresh air. Take a nice, deep in-breath. Release that breath gently, releasing slowly, relaxing, loosening the whole body. Take another such long, deep in-breath. And releasing the air gently, releasing, loosening the whole body. Take one more such long, deep in-breath. Releasing it slowly, loosening the whole body. With this awareness of the body, relaxation of the body, you will now slowly sit down for a short gratitude meditation. Adjust your body in this posture and try to find a stable and balanced position. In this moment, let us take time to reflect on the support, help we receive from others, and blessings in our life. This is a good time to feel grateful. Let us feel our body and deeply recognize the support we receive from this body, all the organs in this body, the heart, the lungs, digestive system, our kidneys, and all these organs and systems are working for us day and night. Because of their smooth functioning, we can do everything in our life. Let us deeply feel grateful. So repeat these words in your mind. I'm deeply grateful to this body. I'm deeply thankful to this body. Let's now expand this gratitude towards all the other people who are connected to our life, people who take care of us, people who care for us, people who are supporting us, all the beloved people in our life. Let us deeply feel grateful for their care, their love, their support. Deeply appreciate that these people are there in your life. I deeply appreciate all of them. I'm deeply thankful. I'm deeply grateful. Let us now expand this gratitude to all other people, to all the mentors, teachers who have guided us in our life. Deeply feel grateful to all the elders, teachers, mentors. I deeply appreciate all of them. I'm deeply thankful. I'm deeply grateful. Let us expand this gratitude towards all the other people, the essential workers who are working day and night to provide our basic facilities, the people who keep our roads clean and safe, people who work behind to make sure that we have continuous power, water, and all the essential workers. I deeply appreciate them. I'm deeply thankful. I'm deeply grateful. Let's keep expanding our gratitude to all the people living further away, whoever the people, the farmers, any other person who keep gardening and cultivating to provide food, and any other people. I deeply appreciate their labor. I'm deeply thankful. I'm deeply grateful. Let's expand our gratitude to all the animals and all the creatures living everywhere to help us to sustain this whole living planet. All the animals, including the bees who provide basis for food, and all the animals. I deeply appreciate all of them. I'm deeply thankful. deeply grateful. Let's also expand this gratitude to this whole nature, all the natural resources, the trees, plants that provide us the good air to breathe, and all the water sources everywhere, to the clouds and the whole ecosystem. I deeply appreciate them all. I'm deeply thankful. I'm deeply grateful. Deeply grateful. Deeply grateful. We will now do a blessing chant, wishing you all blessings for good health, peace, and happiness. We deeply appreciate the dedication of our Wednesday meditation group for sponsoring this event. With deep gratitude towards all of you, we will now do this blessing chant. May you receive the blessings of the wholesome vibration we are generating. May you receive the blessings of the great compassion of the Buddha. May you all be blessed with good health, peace, and happiness. May you all be well, happy, and peaceful. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Mahakaruniko nato hitaya sambhapaninam guritva parami sambhavanto sambodhi muttamam etena satcha vajjena hotu te jaya mangalam jayanto Muli Sankyanam Nandi Vandano Evam Tuyam Jayo Tu Jaya Sunsu Jaya Mangalam Sankatva Buddharatanam Osadam Uttamam Varang Itam Deva Manusanam Buddha Tejena Sunti Nana Santu Pandeva Sabbe Dukka Upasamintu Te สักขัตวาธัมมรัตนังโอสตังอุตตมังวรังอาอุปสัมมนันธัมมเตเยนะสุตตินานัสสันตุปันเดวาสัพเพบายาวุปสัมมินตุเตสังขัตวาสังฆรัตนังโอสตังอุตตมังวรังอาหุนิยังปาหุนิยังสังฆเตเยนะสุตตินานัสสันตุปันเดวาสัพเพโรกาวุปสัมมินตุเตยังกิงติรัตนังโลเกวิญญติวิวิดาปุตุรัตนังกุณเดสมัมนัตติตัสมาสุตติภวันตุเตยังกิงจิรัตนังโลเกวิญญติวิวิดาปุตุรัตนังธัมมสมันนัตติตัสมาสุตติภวันตุเตยังกิงจิรัตนังโลเกวิญญติวิวิดาปุตุรัตนังสังฆสมันนัตติตัสมาสุตติภวันตุเตนัตติมิสารนังอัญญังบุตโตมิสารนังวรังเอเตนะสัจเจวัจเจนะโหตุเตจายมังกลังนัตติมิสารนังอัญญังธัมโมมิสารนังวรังเอเตนะสัจเจวัจเจนะโหตุเตจายมังกลังนัตติมิสารนังอัญญังสังโฆมิสารนังวรังเอเตนะสัจเจวัจเจนะโหตุเตจายมังกลังสัมมิติโยวิวัจจันตุสัมปโรโกวินัสสตุมาเตภวัตวันตรายโยสุขีทีกายุโกภเวภวตุสัพพมังคลังรักขันตุสัพพเทวตาสัพพบุตตานุภาเวนะสดาสุตติภวันตุเตภวตุสัพพมังคลังรักขันตุสัพพเทวตาสัพพธัมมานุภาเวนะสดาสุตติภวันตุเตภวตุสัพพมังคลังรักขันตุสัพพเทวตาสัพพสังฆานุภาเวนะสดาสุตติภวันตุเต Please, if you like to have blessing instant, you can come. Thank you those who joined our YouTube. Really appreciate your participation. Thank you, Adrian, for your nice comment. We really miss you. Hopefully we will see you soon in person. And thank you everyone. We look forward to see you again in our next event.